Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in again to Living Umpqua, the UAP UFO show. This episode, we decided to have a little bit of fun and had a special guest on. I hope you have as much fun watching it as we had making it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoy the content.
Okay.
Was that a zipper?
How's that? Is that good? That's pretty good. Okay, good. He loves it.
We have unknown caller man. I can't even do this.
Settle down. Total mix.
It's amazing. Okay, all right. Yep, well,
What's that thing called? Do you know? Let's turn this. Let's crank that up. Let's keep that going.
No, let's not do that.
Is it better?
Yeah, that's way better.
Why?
All right, unknown caller man.
Yeah.
We're doing an exclusive.
Yeah, buddy. I'll tell you right now.
We're not going to talk about where you're from or what you do.
Thank you.
We know that's
Classified, not in any business.
G52 classified,
You can't say that, are you?
Q17 classified or something.
Okay, you can say that. That's fine. I wish you wouldn't. Don't talk about that stuff. I'm already threatening to end this conversation. Yep. Should I see it?
Underground.
I can respect that. Oh,
Ho!
did you do that?
I did that.
That's great.
All right, so look,
Yeah.
unknown caller man.
So,
Do you know who Richard Doty is?
now I want you to tell me all about him.
What?
Put him to me again. What are you talking about?
Why are you even here if you don't even know?
I don't know who he is. I want you to tell me who he is.
All right.
Who's the name of your stuff?
Prove to you my
Let's go.
ufology knowledge.
Yeah, you don't follow your knowledge.
Richard Doty is in like every UFO podcast ever made or documentary. Rather.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he's
Yeah.
he's in like every documentary about UFOs or aliens ever made. Here's what I love about Richard Doty. Okay,
Alright.
Richard Doty says that he spent 20 years in Air Force
Come on.
counterintelligence.
Yeah, exactly. Anti-intelligence.
Counterintelligence. So, this is what's funny is he tells everybody this, but he's still in the UFO documentary talking about UFOs. And I've seen it exactly.
See?
I've seen a documentary where Richard Doty said that he participated in UFO abductions.
Come on.
I swear that he faked a UFO abduction, that he was part.
Faked. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in an operation with the CIA.
Operation Fake.
Operation Fake, okay? And they abducted people. They would pump them full of drugs,
Okay, I'm in.
give them a fake abduction experience. That must be that text.
So this guy's claiming he's in the CIA.
No, he spent 20 years U.S. Air Force and counterintelligence.
Oh, you don't actually believe that.
That's what he says. It's on It's on.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a record. It's worth a Google. I'll say
Okay.
that.
That's fair.
All right. So he tells people he spent.
I wanted to show the Chicago flag to make people think that I was in Chicago, but I really just love and show.
Chi-Town. I mean, I like Chance the Rapper.
Thanks.
He's good. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
People are saying, maybe he tanked his career a little bit. Is that correct?
I can't understand you right now.
Maybe he was doing a really terrible thing with his career.
Richard Doty?
I don't know, Chance the Rapper.
Oh, Chance the Rapper. I know nothing about Chance the Rapper, just that I like a few of his songs.
Just a few.
Just a few. Yeah.
That's true.
But he represents Chi-Town.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does a couple other people that we won't name at this time because
Right.
the level of heat. We could get sued just by even saying that name, probably. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get back to Richard Doty. All right, we got a lot to cover. So
That's all.
actually,
I'm trying to tell you.
I narrowed it down because,
What?
well, a few things, a few subjects, if you will.
Good.
And the first is Richard Doty. That's why we're talking about Richard.
All right, this guy who says he's in the CIA.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Says
Go ahead.
No, said he was in the Air Force for 20 years, but that he worked with the CIA, and they would abduct people. But the UFO community has him in every documentary that comes out. All right, so Richard Doty. This is the newest stuff Richard Doty came out with. I might have to change my microphone, so be ready for that.
Wow.
But give me a moment here.
This show's kind of unprofessional. Professional.
You think so?
Yeah, I kind of expected more of it. It's not too bad. Good show.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Hey, congrats on all the new followers. That's exciting.
Hey, I'm hoping that they like whiskey, and
Yeah.
also hoping that that Pendleton likes UFOs at the same time.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's called two for.
It is. Wait, hold please.
You kidding me, man? I
Hey,
got a lot to do.
hey, just hold your horses. All right, don't worry about it. What the heck? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
really
Bob.
it's really frustrating because
Uh-oh, buddy.
you think you got everything set up. I'm starting to think.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good. I think it's start. I think it's start. Who's starting to think, folks? Starting to think, folks. Wow. Wow. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
I thought so.
I heard. You know what I heard the other day? You know what I heard the other day? That ope. It's like a Midwest exclamation. Is that right?
What is?
Ope.
Ope.
Yeah. Ope. I think it's spelled O-P. What a doozy. Huh?
It's
Saturday night.
so you had tacos?
What? I don't think I'm really going to tell you if I had those or not. You never saw me do it.
You had what kind of tacos did you have?
If I really had them, I would have had tonight standard tacos, like ground beef.
Ground beef.
Yeah.
That's a standard taco.
Yeah.
So right there, we know you're white.
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable. On the show's subjects, this kind of shenanigans.
Possibly reptilian. Possibly. But we don't.
Thank you. At least you're being respectful.
We don't know what your agenda is, but we're gonna assume it's honorable.
My entire agenda, I already told you this. I already told you. My entire agenda was to prove you wrong
About what?
about all of this.
All what?
All of this.
All of reality.
Who was the guy that you brought up when we first got in here?
We're in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold please.
Yeah. Holding inside the holding pattern. Is that correct? Am I using the right terminology?
I think so.
Yeah, Gabe, I'm into a holding pattern right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Or out.
You're no, just hang tight.
Right.
I don't know. I could be going crazy. See, now once you start covering the subject,
Yeah.
this is when stuff gets
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
You should know.
Gosh, dude. Are we having a day moment?
I'm just saying.
Hey, are you still troubleshooting? Are you still troubleshooting? You're not?
No.
Hey, man. I didn't know you were done. All right, let's tell me about the guy. He's in the... What's his name again? I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I know what you're doing. See, now I'm thinking you are cleared, and you're just trying to throw me down the wrong rabbit hole here.
I don't know, man.
It's
I
definitely,
can say.
It's definitely possible.
Well, try it. Try it out. What do you? Who's a?
It's possible.
Did you pick up a sponsor yet?
No.
That's annoying.
I know, it's rough. It's rough.
You're out here trying to prove these things.
And I'm pretty much the only one doing it. I mean,
You're one of the only ones brave enough to do it. And no sponsor. He's using all his own. He's using his own time, his own equipment.
it's not like there's a 1 gajillion UFO shows out there.
Yeah, but this one's different. This one's going to speak the truth.
That's why I got you on here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I got you on.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's go ahead. Unless you're still troubleshooting.
Like I said, this is a new tool. And I gotta listen. Shout out to Riverside.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like it, dude. It started. It cut it. It cut it out. It cut out. It cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Right.
Thank you.
It. It cut out me laughing at my own jokes. So you know the AI is getting. All right. Hang tight. Hang tight. We're getting somewhere here. No. All right.
Hey, you get down with that Doty theme song.
We were gonna talk about. Remember Richard Doty?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Are you going to pull up some facts?
Well, so what I'm going to pull up here is the latest video, the latest kind of hubbub. So I want to watch this with you, and I want you to tell me if you think this is misinformation,
Yeah.
or should we just totally believe what a guy that says he spent 20 years telling people, misleading people down rabbit holes.
There we go. You said the quiet part out loud.
Have you ever heard the name of Paul Benedict?
I don't think so.
So Richard Doty, Paul Benedict was a very successful guy. All right. This guy was a self-made millionaire. Okay.
Billions with a B? With a B?
This is the 80s. He was a millionaire. He was a self-made millionaire in the aerospace industry.
How's that make him a great guy?
Well, I think that makes him a great guy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think if you start from humble beginnings,
Yeah.
and
Who is it born into money?
right,
Okay.
you work your way up and you get very successful doing something you love, like that to me that's the American dream. That's what we all want, right?
I get that.
You don't want that, move to Russia. I don't know.
Listen, this guy, propaganda much?
Well, maybe. At any rate,
Yeah.
Paul Benowitz developed this. What happened? Have we lost your video?
Yeah, they're listening, dude. This is it.
What is going on?
This is it.
No!
Yeah. It's happening.
They're interfering.
You gotta hear it.
All right, but we still got audio, and you
Yeah.
can still see Richard Doty.
Okay.
Can you?
Yeah. The guy?
All right.
Again, allegedly. Oh, I'm a see that. I just got a warning. I got a warning.
What warning did you get?
Something about we can't access your video. Well, yeah, we know that. Thank you. Geniuses. Ad wizard.
All right. Well, you know what? You didn't want to be seen anyway.
That's good.
Man. So really, they're just helping us out, right?
Ouch.
Ouch. Right? You flip it, you make it work for you. That's what
Devices struggling to record, it says.
Dude, see that?
Oh my. This is it, folks. You're seeing it live.
This is what happens when you... Oh, we've lost unknown caller man. We've lost unknown caller man. Do you know what? This is the kind of stuff when you start covering this subject. Oh, he's back.
Wow.
Dude, they almost had us.
They're getting us, dude.
They almost had us. All right. So listen, Paul Benowitz developed this technology that was able to pick up, at the time, the U.S. Air Force had developed satellite technology.
Wait, pick up from where?
Radio frequencies.
Hold on.
From his garage.
I'll keep going.
This is a smart guy. Okay.
I know. I'm not.
Oh,
He's very smart and rich.
right. And from his garage,
From his garage, he picks up some radio waves.
he picks up this energy This disruption in his radio frequency. Listen, when I was in the ARMY, right?
Oh, what's that? What's that all about?
I worked in radio operations.
Okay. What you don't need to say here is that I know a thing or two.
I know a thing or two.
There it is.
You might call me somewhat of a communications expert.
Oh,
Here's what I can tell you. Laser can cut through radio frequency communications. That's not...
They do that.
That's not anything crazy. You can Google that and find it out, right?
Oh,
so
it's not crazy. It's not pretty crazy. I was like...
It's pretty much...
It's pretty crazy.
You understand how all that works, unknown caller, man.
I'll figure it out. I'm pretty smart.
I'm pretty sure you're from the future. Paul Benowitz finds this frequency.
Yeah. On his way to his garage.
He goes on his garage. He goes to the Air Force. Yep. He goes, I found this frequency. I think something is communicating with something in outer space. What the Air Force doesn't want Paul to know in 1980 is that the Air Force has a laser. When the Russian spy satellite flies over the Air Force station, the laser shoots into the lens of the Russian.
Oh, you're saying that's when they block it.
And it prevents the Russians from seeing nothing alien about it, right?
Yeah.
But what Richard does, he goes to Paul Benowitz and they go, oh my God, we think you've discovered alien communication.
Stop, man.
Alien communication. We think you figured it out, Paul.
Oh.
Guess what they do then?
Kill them.
No, even better. Even better. Guess what?
They hire him to do something. You're hired, buddy.
So what they do next, you're way off.
Okay, thank you.
So what they do next is they start making fake contact radio with fake aliens. Fake.
See, I told you it's a hoax. You just proved the whole thing's a hoax.
Fake.
Show's over, folks. Thanks for joining. I'm out. I'm back.
Thank you for coming back in. I appreciate that.
That's all right.
All right, unknown caller, man. So, okay. So this guy is sitting in his garage. He's a millionaire, a self-made millionaire, sitting in his very comfortable garage of his very comfortable home, using his very expensive radio frequency equipment, thinking that he's listening to the Air Force talk to aliens.
So,
and who's behind this? The guy on the screen right now, Richard Doty.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're about to learn a little something about him?
Well, first I'm going to tell you how Paul Benowitz ends up.
Okay.
Paul Benowitz ends up signing over his multi-million-dollar company at that point to his family and gets committed to an insane asylum for over 20 years. That's how Paul's story ends.
Yeesh. This guy?
This guy, Richard Doty, did this to Paul.
Oh. Let me see Paul, too. I want to see his face. I'll put a name to a face.
I'll drop some picture. I mean, if you had watched any of the videos, if you had spent 5 minutes watching anything I had sent you already, you would.
Oh, something about preparing for the show?
I thought with your advanced technology, you could just instantly download it or something. But I guess it's more complicated than that. All right. Hold tight. I'm going to make sure that this audio works. I want us to listen to Richard Doty here, okay?
Thank you.
Now, this is Richard Doty explaining, now that he's, now that if you just put UFO and Area 51 in your YouTube subject, you get multiple people checking it out, right? So now it's cash in time.
I like this fake warehouse he's now in.
Right. Isn't that an excellent...
Super awesome. Really cloak and dagger.
It's almost as good as yours.
What are you talking about? Gabriel, I want you to listen up, and I want you to listen up to me right now. Up to me? At me.
It's all...
With me. Against me.
Are you in my head right now?
I am an entity, yes.
We're going to get to that later. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Now, shut your face. We're going to listen to Richard Doty talk here, okay?
I hope the audio works.
Yeah, I hope the audio works too.
That's what I'm really excited about. That's what did they just get you?
Supposed to respond to. And we were then advised the situation had taken place near Silver Bowl. And there's somebody dead. So we responded to this area.
51
is part of what the Air Force told Virginia was truth. The visitor
Is that his vape in his hand?
silver bull, but drug his body into the Nellis Test and Training Range. And the body was found a few miles inside.
A few miles.
The creature didn't eat George, but he killed him.
Okay.
At that area, security police had a conference.
Did you know you can...
Ordered his men to shoot and kill the visitor. And they did.
This guy's
It was our job to...
He's one thing, and he's really bad at it. He's a bad actor.
When I got there...
I was going to tilt his head down and try to get... He looks like he's trying to get news anchor.
This particular species, when it decayed, it emitted toxic fumes.
Did it?
And so we had to stay some distance away to look at it from a distance and see it. They issued us some gas masks, which we put on, and I walked over and
You didn't have masks on when you looked? Oh, God.
that was 7 foot tall praying mantis.
Oh.
Cape, weird looking face,
Uh-huh.
and protrusion as for hands. Now, I'd never seen one before, and I was never briefed into what.
Does he have a picture? He's about to show a photo from
I
his
had a lot of questions for the officer who was responsible
he's an android
for
guy.
maintaining the creature containment, or the visitor containment area, but he was very hesitant about telling me everything.
Jeez. I didn't know it was going to get this heavy.
Did you hear any of that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You were able to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of what he just said?
I already told you. I think he's a really bad actor.
Okay, so bad actor could mean a lot of things. What do you mean by bad actor? Bad actor is in he's telling a bullshit story and he's not very good at it, or bad actor is in his intentions are bad?
That's good. I'm glad you asked that question, because once I said that, I thought, hey, that could go a couple different ways. I think he's telling a story. Well, I show it again.
This beautiful...
Thanks for buying Pendleton.
That's right. Pendleton is in Oregon, by the way. It's amazing. So... what do we think of that story there by Richard Doty? I mean, really, you think he saw a 7 foot tall praying mantis? No?
No.
You know, there's a lawyer right now that has represented some really, really powerful people, including the Vatican, who says there's an alien base in the ocean that the USS Nimitz got deployed to examine under the ocean, and that there's also an alien base in Arizona, in Sedona, Arizona.
Show me a picture. You have a picture?
Well, I mean, you've seen these videos that have come out, right?
Oh, yeah. I like that.
They're called the Gimbal and the Go Fast video, yeah.
Ooh, I like the go fast.
The reason that they're so popular that they have a name is because they're that significant. They're the first piece of evidence where the U.S. government came out and said, like, okay, that's real.
There's something.
Well, they couldn't deny it was radar that was tracking.
That's
Under
true.
oath.
I understand that.
When you testify under oath,
Murdered. They'll just murder. I think they just beheaded you. Right there and there.
if you lie under oath. So you really... Are you in my head? What do you... I mean, I know you say you don't really stay up a lot on the UFO stuff, and I know that you haven't watched any of the videos that I've sent you. So
you get proof shit, dude.
What do you think about the fact that it's like a big thing right now?
These things are coming out. I think it's really cool. I think it's super cool. I mean, I'm a nerd, and I think if it turns out, okay, what do you think they are?
Well, I don't know. Like,
well, if you had to guess, just toss a guess my way.
If I had to guess, God, I think it could be honestly a couple of things. I think I do this before all of my videos, all three of them now that where I've talked about UFOs, is I've spent hours digging and not just watching YouTube videos, but really downloading documents that were released by the federal government and actually going through and asking ChatGPT what it makes of this kind of stuff. I've really gone deep into it, you know, and there's three things I would say that are facts, unknown caller man, and I really believe these are facts. And that's one, that our government and private industry have a deal, and they have technology not of this earth.
Okay.
I think that's an absolute 100% fact. Now, look, we could argue all day about what that means.
Sure.
But I think if you really go down the rabbit hole on this subject, that's what you find is that a long time ago, companies like Raytheon, companies like Lockheed Martin, companies like Bigelow Aerospace that I've covered in one of my videos you haven't watched, companies General Dynamics that have these multi-billion-dollar contracts with the government, and because they're private industry, they don't have to tell anybody what they're doing, right? They keep it on. They're not like the government that can decide they want an inspector to come in and find out what this thing is. They don't have to do that.
So that's where you think some of them are.
That's where I know that some of that's what I know where some of this technology is. Second thing I know.
Yeah.
Ready? Non-human intelligence is real.
I can dig that.
We could argue all day about what that means,
You want
but it's real. But if you really think the entire cosmos is full of no life,
Oh, right. Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense.
that's as intelligent or more intelligent than we are, you are crazy. You're just not using your brain. Like, do you know
You
what?
can't call me that. No, let's get that straight.
I invaded your safe space. I apologize. But what I will say, I mean, really though, let's use our heads. Like, there.
You know what? We're the past. That's what I'm thinking. This is the past.
Who knows what time is anymore, right? Because when you start talking about being able to manipulate gravity, and when you start talking about being able to manipulate and bend space and time, our whole reality gets blown up. But here's the thing, unknown caller man, is that physics for the last 7 years has been theoretical. It's not proven. It's not proven. Ask the smartest guys at Harvard, they will tell you
I'm not going to do that.
their equations are based on...
You're going to have to pay for I'll tell you what. I will do that if you pay for the flight and give me some vacation out. Places and
If I can get the sponsorship, then I'm pretty sure I might be able to do that. So hold that thought. All right. Now, listen, I want to ask you, and this is why, let's be real, we message each other, right? We know,
my gosh, now look what you've done.
we know each other outside of this world, okay? So, and I asked you, what do you know about the telepathy tapes? And your answer is?
Zero, zilch, nada.
What comes to your mind when you think telepathy tapes?
What were we talking about the other day? That Wormwood series with that gentleman.
Wormwood.
Yeah, Wormwood.
Wormwood, the CIA series. That?
Yep.
Where they throw people off of buildings?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that rabbit.
That's baby you compared to this.
That rabbit hole is amazing. I mean, I love
That's fun.
because if you watch that series, they have that CIA document that says the best way to kill people is to throw them off buildings.
That's a good one.
You know how many people were killed in the 60s and 70s by being, suiciding off of tall buildings?
Right.
So many. So
You do that.
so many, caller man. So many.
Thank you. Respect it.
So listen, here's the thing. Maybe you don't know about the telepathy tapes, but what do you know about autism?
What do I know about?
I mean, what thoughts come to your mind when you think about does anybody in your life have autism or on the spectrum at all?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, what when you're in the room with them and you're interacting with them, what kind of thoughts come to your mind?
Hey, that's good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. I want you to be real here.
I'm guilt. How about that? Guilt. And I'm also curious.
Yeah.
I'm also very curious because I don't think that's necessarily or could be a positive thing. If you could harness certain, areas of that.
Okay, right, and that's like people that know autistic people and have them in their lives. That's definitely a thing. Like you notice, like they can do certain things where it's like, hold on,
Very well.
how did you count
Yeah.
the amount of toothpicks that just fell out of a?
Oh, did you Rain Man me?
I just Rain Manned you right there.
Wow.
Right, but that stuff is incredible, right? Like So the telepathy tapes, this is
Telepathy, I think it's pronounced.
well, however you want to pronounce it. Potato. Let's not forget we're from different areas, right? So, like, I would never eat a hot dog with peppers on it, or with
Cream cheese. Oh, she made a face. That's
nasty.
not a thing.
It's nasty,
If it is a thing, it's not a Chicago thing.
dude. We're
I
gonna.
don't really care because I'm not into
We are definitely doing another show on Chicago.
That's good. I like that.
It's a good subject. It's a good subject. So, yes, people on that level, when you interact with them, I don't know, maybe if you're a person that has had no interactions with somebody on the spectrum, you've never had that interaction. But I can tell you, Unknown Caller Man can tell you, I can tell you that there is a feeling you have when you're with that person. It's not a thought. It's not a conscious thing. It's like a feeling that you have when you're with that person.
You don't find it to be a conscious thing that you are actually thinking it's
No. It's like they're a different type of person, and not in a bad way. Like, just that it's hard to put into words for me.
So which brings us to these particular tapes, I'm assuming, right?
This particular research. Now, this research was done by some very, very scholarly people. This was done by some folks that have some very great credentials. These aren't folks that got their university at the University of Costa Rica or whatever. God bless all the Costa Ricans. Not saying it.
I was gonna say,
If you're in the U.S., your credentials should probably be from the U.S. Okay, or maybe a European nation, possibly. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that road. But anyway, I'll just say this: these are very well credentialed people. So I'm gonna
credentialed.
Yes. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna try to share this screen here. Give me just a moment.
Okay.
Then we're going to pull up the now this is just an ad. Okay, This is just like a 2-minute preview.
I thought we were gonna watch another ad on YouTube.
Not gonna sit. No, we're not. This is like a trailer for the Telepathy Tapes is an actual podcast. I've heard that there's a big name streamer that's gonna turn it into a series. But right now,
You sign into your account. You're not subscribed on URL right now. You gotta subscribe to that or not?
I am gonna subscribe. That's a great call out right there. Thank you. I will make sure to subscribe. And I wanna thank is now listen, when I put Richard Doty in my videos, his job title I put underneath his name is asshole. So even though I'm not a big Richard Doty fan, I do want to say thank you to
Bill Gates looking guy.
Richard Doty. Yes, that was.
Oh yeah, he seems great. Oh yeah, he's a bad actor. He's a bad actor in a way that he is trying to act and he's not very good at it. Again, folks.
So that's what you're saying. Not in that he's.
I realize you didn't actually complete that.
You don't know enough to know if his intentions are bad.
I'm a good judge of character.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean that honestly. Like you feel like you'd want to learn more about him before you say what he's doing is dishonorable. Because listen, I had a friend that worked PsyOps in the Army, and I can tell you that even though he drove Paul Benowitz crazy, literally, into an insane asylum, what he was doing, he thought was protecting the United States of America. And
God bless this country.
When you have that kind of justification, it's crazy, right? Because all of a sudden, everything's okay. Because you're doing it so that our kids can go to school, so that we can have jobs, so that we can have a safe place to live.
Steve Jobs.
I love Steve Jobs. God bless him. Okay, so let's watch this.
Be an alien, right? Come on.
Let's watch this thing on the telepathy.
All right, let's hit this shit.
And then I want to hear your real opinion afterwards with no echo.
All right, shit.
Hang tight.
Hold on. Everybody sit tight. Just kidding. Internet cut out.
Let me know if you can hear this.
My son said to me, I can hear.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that.
Okay.
Just like she said.
And I said, impossible.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to start this over.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
My son said to me, I can hear thoughts. And I said, impossible. And he said to me, you don't get the kind of gifts that I have if you lie.
Let's please multiply two numbers and see if he gets it.
Okay, what is it?
9, 0, 0.
Unbelievable.
1.
Maybe shovel in Dr. Powell. Oh,
Play. There's a mirror on here, 2-9.
So he got the plus too.
I was wondering, because I was looking at the 2 the whole time, and I saw his hand going somewhere else.
What is this phenomena happening? Why are his mind and my mind completely connected?
I knew that a lot of people would think, boy, Diane's gone off the deep end. But that's the risk any scientist takes when they challenge the current
Johns
paradigm.
Hopkins.
Joining us today to shed
Was it?
light, Dr. Diane Powell.
I'm working
John Hopkins,
with
not
children who
I didn't see it.
reported by a parent to be able to read their mind.
The data was so compelling and accurate that I had to follow it, even though I knew I was risking my scientific reputation.
I started testing them, and I found that they were exceedingly accurate.
What is the next number?
After the medical board took my license away, I had to prove my sanity. And once I did,
Dr. Tarrant, he's
Oh,
done
that's line.
EEG scans
Wow.
to see what's going on.
The biggest overall finding is really this increase of activation across all the brain waves. If there was
See
no
her
change,
blindfold
I'd
on?
be skeptical.
if you can show a consistent pattern,
I'm not there. I don't believe it.
that's how science changes. You cannot fake this.
We want
Yeah, I can-
answers, like, where does it comes from? I want to know how, and what are we supposed to do?
We can't all be crazy.
We are far more powerful than we can imagine, and the implications are huge for humanity and the planet.
Now,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. We can say that these people can blindfold a kid, and if you listen to the podcast tapes, you'll find this out. The telepathy tapes.
I just roasted you.
It's an actual podcast.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like a video like we're doing now. It's a podcast, old school. Okay.
It's cool.
I love
new
podcast.
school.
New school.
New-
Okay.
Oh, that's just like that. That's how it happens.
Hold up now.
Yeah.
Now I asked you before I watched that preview. I said I want to know your honest opinion on this.
About that.
Yes.
About what we just watched.
Yes.
I'll take it with a grain of salt. I think it's a really interesting concept. But so let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Let's say it's real.
What?
Why isn't it
Oh, that these kids have these powers?
Yeah.
Okay.
that this connection exists? Which,
Maybe abilities instead of powers.
yeah, that's a good way. That's a good save there.
Some folks, especially from this organization, would look at it as a power, right? Like this is something we can use.
Yeah.
And they have since the 60s, it turns out, with the Stargate program. But I
That's another episode altogether.
I digress, because we're not in the
Awesome.
60s. It's 2025. And these kids are showing real stuff. I mean, I was going to tell you, they had a kid blindfolded. They showed a little preview of it there. And this kid was able to read what another person was reading with a blindfold on. You can't fake that. You can't
Whatever.
fake that.
I'm not there. I don't know. Do you believe that movies are fake?
Movies are fake?
Yeah, what if movies are real?
Oh, I mean, it depends on the movie, right?
Exactly. So they can make you think that something's real. Am I right? And I think you know it.
And that's something I get into a lot. And that, is that with every bit of truth, there's so
That really came out of my studio over here.
much bullshit that's coming out. I
Yeah.
mean, but let's be honest, like call a spade. Like bullshit is bullshit. If you watch something or you hear something and you're like, that doesn't even make
And if you
sense.
see something, say something.
If you see something, hit me up, okay?
Yep. Say something.
Send Living Umpqua a message. Let us know. We'll get it out there for you. We got over 300 subscribers now, right? Like we're moving. We're shaking.
Subscribers. Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Congratulations, by the way. That's excellent.
Hey, I'm excited. I am excited that people are excited about this topic because it's something that. All right, do you want me to get really real with you here? When I was a kid, I saw a triangle craft.
Where?
In Oregon, Portland, Oregon.
Just give me
Was it you, unknown caller, man? Was it you? Okay, so this is the truth.
Yeah, I believe.
And it's funny that I'm talking about it now.
Can't prove it though, can you?
What might be YouTube Live, I don't even know.
Oh, no.
But up until this moment, I've told my sister and my wife.
And this is a world premiere.
World premiere. So I did. I was laying on a field. See, when we were kids, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have.
That's a field.
We didn't have screens to look at except for a TV and a movie. So what you would do some nights is it would be a nice warm summer night. You'd find a spot out on a field. You lay on the field and you'd look up at the beautiful stars, right? So you've done that stuff, man.
Up in the sky.
Yeah, you've done that on No Color Man. It's gorgeous. The Milky Way is amazing. It's stunning. Okay.
That's true.
And so we were doing this one night, and I saw a triangle craft. It had 3 white lights. Okay, so that's how I knew it was a triangle, or maybe, and then it had 1 red light in the middle. So at this point, you know how memory can mess with you, right? So at this point, I believe. Yeah, perfect memory. So at this point, I don't know. I'm pretty certain. Like as I recall it in my mind, I recall it as it being a triangle craft. But it could have definitely been 3 white dots and a red dot in the middle. It could have been 4 craft. Who knows? A reflection, a satellite. We don't know, right? Like we really don't know what we don't know. But at least our government has gotten to that point where they'll say we don't know what we don't know, even though I think they know more than they know.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Now, you don't follow this UFO stuff, so you never heard the name Jake Barber? Jake Barber has whistleblower protections. I know you're a smart guy, so I know you know what that means.
Oh, okay.
Jake Barber has whistleblower protections, and Jake Barber has come out, and Jake Barber served over 20 years in the United States Air Force.
Show me his resume. I'll believe you.
Called a DD-214. It's out there.
Did you just call me, buddy?
14 military has a DD-214. Tells you.
DD-214?
On file.
I was serving the volleyball once.
That's awesome. Were you on a team? Like a
No. You check your creatine today or not? You didn't know. You got any monster sitting around that desk? Come on. Yeah, I'm sitting.
All right. Obviously, I'm leading you down a path here, right? So we've
Telepathy tapes. Is that what you're talking about?
Tapes. We've talked
Tattoo it.
Richard Doty, the asshole, and now I'm getting into Jake Barber. The reason I covered the telepathy.
He's got whistleblower protections.
He has whistleblower protection, which means, well, it's worth a Google if you don't understand what that means. So Jake Barber spent all this time in the Air Force, got done with his time in the Air Force, and then becomes a private helicopter contractor in Arizona and does recoveries for the Air Force.
Sorry, buddy.
Well, David Grush has a military clearance that is at the highest level.
Oh, come on. Show me his Wikipedia.
It's at the highest level. I'm not saying it is the highest level. It's at the highest level.
And what are you doing in there?
This is my Chaser 7-Up.
7-Up?
Which I also am a fan of, very much so. And in fact, Zero Sugar 7-Up.
Oh, hey, 7-Up, you listening?
I want to thank
This man really appreciates he gets still have a little treat.
For providing this man with a Zero Sugar.
Yeah, look at that.
Very much. It's very nice. David Grush has his clearance. David Grush goes out, interviews all these people that are part of all these quote unquote legacy UFO programs. David Grush goes in front of Senate again under oath. And if you understand this, you know that means you're subject. That is why even if you're not guilty of anything, people will say, I plead the fifth when they're
2, 3, 4.
because it can be held against you. So David Grush goes in front of all these people and tells them, I've interviewed this person, I've interviewed this person, I've interviewed this person, I've interviewed this person. These people have basically admitted to me that there is a crash retrieval program that's been ongoing since the late 40s, where either unintentionally or we try to intentionally take these things down and recover them. We're doing it.
That seems kind of
Now it diverts into all these forks, right? As far as storylines go.
Yeah.
But kind of the predominant one is most of the technology we couldn't figure out. We couldn't even figure out how to open it, right?
You can't.
Right. So we spent decades trying to reverse engineer this technology. Private industry and the government to a degree, but mostly private industry. Spent decades. All right.
Refreshing.
All right.
Looks great.
So I'm kind of going back and forth here, but you don't know who these people are. So I'm just trying to give you kind of a 20,000 foot view here.
Yeah.
Literally. So David Grush, and this is what came out recently. He comes out under oath. He says, senators, we've got biologics, we have them.
And have you seen one?
And they are stored somewhere. Why would I see one? I had pretty much the lowest level security clearance you could have. I had enough security clearance so that I could get a security key for my radios. That was it.
What if I told you one of my main arguments would be the fact that if that all this stuff is real, that it
Yeah.
already be out there, and it would
it is.
And it would be. Oh, come on. You know what I mean. Like widespread.
It is.
Nah.
Hey,
I'm talking about.
You Google UFO, you'll come up with videos in China, Asia Minor, Europe, Ireland, the United States, South America. I mean, this is going on all around the world right now. Yeah. So, getting back to telepathy. Apparently, if we're talking about some crazy advanced craft, some crazy advanced civilization, if you know who Bob Lazar is, tell me who Bob Lazar is. Thank you. He said it himself when he went inside that recovered vehicle at S2, which is outside of it's Area 51-esque. It's a separate area, S2. So
that's where the minimum wage scientists had to work in.
I'm sure they were getting paid.
S2.
I'm sure they were making very much money. So he said when he went inside the craft, well, he didn't really fit inside of it, but when he kind of peeked inside of it, what he saw was there's no controls whatsoever.
Look at a Tesla. Look at a Tesla.
But this is beyond. Like, it's not a screen.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's not a.
So, do you think I think it's just the evolution of human beings.
Well, I've run that theory by my wife actually quite a few times, that maybe it's just us from the future.
Yeah.
Because we're the only life so far that we've proven exists.
Yeah. That's what we just get it together, humankind.
And I think I've said this to you a couple times in the past, is that if we ever do figure out time travel, that means that we're already time traveling.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
So that means that if we ever make that leap intellectually, scientifically, that it's already happening.
How much further ahead do you think? And I don't want to say it like, would that be selfishly? I don't know. That they're us, right? They're not us.
Sure.
We're them. You know, how about that? That's a lesser way of putting it.
Hey.
How much further ahead do you think they are?
Well, who knows? I mean...
Sure, I guess. I want to see, because then what if it gets proven tomorrow in the universe?
Technology happens so fast.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could happen tomorrow. Who knows? But if it does ever happen, it's happening. Or our universe is so big and so vast. And if there is something to string theory and multiple dimensions are real, that's so far beyond comprehension that we just don't get it, right? Like these things in the air, it's like a shadow asking a person what it is. Like that's just not going to happen. There's no comprehension there, right? So we could be seeing
mirror neurons.
We could be seeing these things in the air from the 7th dimension, right? And we're in the 3rd dimension, so we have no idea.
Like a bunch of losers. Jeez.
Yes, CD losers. But we can't even wrap our mind around what it might be, right? Or maybe it is extraterrestrial, or terrestrial, or AI. Like, who knows? But it is something, right? And if it is this advanced, maybe there is something to this other side of people. They do paranormal investigations, or they call themselves mediums.
Okay, let me, you know what? I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Why don't we line up all the, what did you call it earlier? What did you call it? The remains.
We have.
And I call it.
We have extraterrestrial remains.
Okay.
That's
just remains.
That's what David Grush.
Okay, so how come we haven't lined up all of these in a big giant row so everybody can see it and go, oh look, they're pretty much okay?
Because you have the facts.
Do you think? We talked about this allegedly the other day. The panic.
You have that. You have interested parties that.
Interested parties. That's a good name for a band.
That is a good name for a band. You have interested parties that control the narrative, right? So that they can try to get the outcomes they're looking for, right? So if you have some kind of crazy technology that you're so close, you're right around the corner from cracking this code and being able to reverse engineer it and make a $1 billion, everything you can to protect that, right? Like everything you can. And it's not hard for the government to hide programs. It's super easy. I mean, it's very easy. And just do your research. We've done it for decades, right? Like literally decades we've done it. So unknown biologics. David Grush says that in front of Congress. You got unknown biologics. We've got UFO, UAP retrieval programs. We've got these quote unquote legacy programs that have been going on since the late 40s, ever since we started messing around with nuclear weaponry.
Do you think that was the beacon of light that was like, oh, we just got a ping from our old buddies over at Earth, those losers that are still in 3D?
Well, if you think, did you watch that show on Netflix about the chimps, where the camera crew goes in to this island where all these chimps are, and they embed themselves with these chimps, and they
no, I did not.
And you get to experience the entire, like, it's a tribe, right? Like they work together, accomplishing tasks for survival. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But these cameramen become so embedded that the chimps begin to just not even notice them and just not care and just carry on with their daily life. And so it's very possible that that could be going on as well. Maybe like we send out satellites, maybe aliens, and we call them aliens, maybe another species sent out an advanced version of
the evolution of
that's AI that said look for life, but didn't say what to do if you find it.
Just walk around.
It's looking for life. It found life. It's 500 light years away.
Looking for life.
I've done nothing but give you great song ideas. So anyway, 500 light years away, it knows it's found life.
Yeah.
And it can send the beacon, I found life.
Yeah.
But then...
Up in the Avengers mobile, let's go back to Earth.
But then what? Or you know what Pope Francis said? Francis said they're angels and demons, and our brains just can't comprehend what we're seeing. There's just so many. There's just
from a religious standpoint, that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting because you watch some of these videos and you can see these things literally transform in front of your eyes, and your brain just can't comprehend it. You're like, what am I looking at? Right? Like, is that real? You know? Speaking of which, I'm going to share with you a video from my last video.
You're going to be like, that's it, we got sponsored.
We were talking telepathy we were talking Jake Barber. That's what led us into the David Grush conversation and the conversation with the Senate. And that's why Jake Barber has whistleblower protections. When all that stuff happened with the Senate, Jake Barber came out. And if you pay attention to this field, Stephen Greer was saying a while ago, there's going to be a big information that comes out, right? So it's Jake Barber comes out, says, I am actually intelligence, even though I'm a private contractor that owns this helicopter company. We do crash retrievals for the Air Force. We pick up these things. They look like eggs with our helicopter. We drop them off wherever they tell them to drop them off. We haven't been able to get into them for 60 plus years. They have like a whole graveyard full of these things because
I see it.
They can't.
Is there a live cam pointed at it?
There is a video of the egg drop off. If you haven't seen that video,
have I seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Hold one sec. We're gonna get to that video. One moment.
Please hold, folks. Take a chill pill for a second.
Keep it calm.
Because if you haven't seen this,
Keep it calm.
If you haven't seen this will really blow your mind.
Yes.
Okay, now News Nation has kind of come out of the blue.
Sounds like a great, I was going to say that's a good one.
They've kind of come out of the blue, but yeah, it's a good like logo and
that it's got to be black and white and red all over.
Well, hold on. Let's take a look. Here you go. News Nation.
You love to see it.
Exclusive.
We're lighting this guy's face.
All right, so let's just listen to what the man has to say. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear it. I'd have to turn the volume up, right?
The unseen video of the program.
Here we go.
Extraordinary footage clearly shows an egg-shaped object dangling in a sling below the belly of a helicopter.
Well, it's like no edge.
Let's slow this down to take a closer look. That's an egg-shaped UAP suspended from a 150-foot long line. We're told the craft is about 20 feet long. The egg suspended in a cradle. And look how careful the pilot is as they bring their precious cargo into land. Let's freeze frame here to look at one of the clearest images of a UAP ever taken. This is no blurry light in a distant sky. The source of the footage putting themselves at incredible risk to record this UAP retrieval. Look at how perfectly smooth the craft is. No markings at all, and no visible means of propulsion or way to see inside. Watch how it rolls, almost graceful as it hits the ground, despite being wrapped in the ropes and canvas from the cradle as it's...
Now, that thing right there, 20 feet long.
Okay.
And if you look at the shadow, it matches. And they've run it through multiple AI detectors. It's legit.
Hey, wait a second, buddy. If this is AI coming back and poking at us and prodding us, then how can we trust AI to review the information we need? Hey.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. But let's say you let's say you have a truly objective AI program.
Sure. Like I don't know.
They exist.
Okay.
You just have to be really wealthy.
Oh. Have you seen my bank account?
Olin.
That's right.
All right. So what do you think of the egg-shaped UAP?
I think it looks like a balloon.
Okay.
Which I guess is a UAP. Right? I don't know what it is.
Well,
it looks like it looks like a balloon.
If you were you a Michael Crichton fan?
No, I really.
Sphere, Jurassic Park.
Oh, we just watched Sphere the other night.
Oh, that movie is awful. The book is so much better.
It is a terrible movie.
Oh, it is.
That's what somebody told me the other day. Oh, you'd said. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Hey, the book is fantastic. Yeah. If you have an Audible account.
Oh, no, actually, one of my buddies said the same thing. He said the book is amazing.
The book is out of this world. But
Should have watched it again.
there's a detail in the book, and Michael Crichton is a bright guy.
Should call him Michael Crichton. Am I right?
So telepathy.
Michael Crichton.
Telepathy, egg-shaped UAPs. The point Michael Crichton made in that book is that if we ever encounter another type of species, intelligent species from another world, it's going to be so different than what we expect, it will just blow our mind.
It'll be so... I hope it's really disappointing.
Like, did you see the movie Arrival?
Yeah, I love that.
Remember the aliens from that movie?
Yeah.
Nothing like you've ever heard about in the zeitgeist of aliens and UFOs, right? Yeah. Totally different way of looking at things, right? Space,
big giant, squiddy human.
Time and space, it's all circular, right? Like there's just a way that they view life, the way that they exist is different than what we do and what we consider existence, right? And that was the point of that Michael Crichton book, is that you can't be ready for this because it's going to be so different than what you would expect. So keep an open mind. All right.
Oh my God, I got an open mind.
A craft that looks like an egg.
Looks like a balloon egg.
But at the same time, you see those orb videos. I mean, sort of matches up, right? Orb, bright light, changes lights, and then checks out real fast.
Right.
Mach 58, right? Those things could be these eggs. Like, who knows? Who knows? All right. Telepathy. Eggs. All right. Now, this is from my video, my last UFO video. This is Jake Barber and his folks talking about...
I keep thinking you're going to say Jake Paul.
No, not Jake Paul. This is Jake Barber and his folks talking about how they're essentially for hire, okay? And you can hire them if you want to try to...
They just want some cash. They're not going to prove shit.
To try to bring in a UAP. Well, hang tight now, because what I'm going to show you is pretty freaking wild, okay? So hang tight. Here we go. We are going to get going here. All right, now this is
check 1, 2.
The Current Rabbit Hole episode 2. So 2 episodes ago. All right, here we go. You ready?
Recovery effort was coordinated with another
different in this video
with an interest in how consciousness had an impact or could interface with technology. We were also invited to be part of a program that dealt with the research and development of the building of a system in which a particular human, not non-human, a particular human with a disposition and talent for manipulating their own consciousness could interface with certain technology.
Certainty comes from my firsthand experience in what I term a psionic exploitation program.
He's a Skywatcher. That's his official title.
2010, where I interfaced and worked with non-human intelligence and things like UAP.
How much should I get paid to Skywatch?
But ultimately, what we were really investigating was how far could we stretch the bounds of human consciousness? How could we get human consciousness to interface directly with things like recovered materials and recovered crafts? What I can tell you from the craft and some of the different projects that we worked on directly is ultimately that they interfaced with us. My consciousness could project into these craft and recovered materials and then access a suite of commands, essentially capabilities to do various things, including piloting. But ultimately, the story is not about piloting some UAP with your mind. This story is much more about what is consciousness.
That aircraft, my team was deployed. We secured the perimeter.
Yeah.
We secured that target. We transported that target.
That's who the
target and provided security for that target. That target was transported to a facility of a very well-known government-private partner. A decision was made to do a team that represented a different private partner who was working on consciousness and the mechanism by which humans could interface with technology. The two were merged, and we were involved with that process.
You were involved. We had a couple of our folks that felt like it was a good time to try to communicate with potentially a craft or a,
this guy.
I just took a spot up on the roof to be able to observe what's out around us, and then also have another set of eyes.
Get a shot of me in front of him.
So got on the roof and say, I'll be up here.
Stick with me, caller.
I'm still here.
If something went down, and it did.
The psionic team claimed to be connecting with an object, and our sensor data caught this.
That's a basement.
What's that look like?
Looks like a basement.
Brad would like to see if you could see anything with his naked eye.
Yeah, they toss it. When you do the egg toss in the backyard with the spoons.
And then he said something like,
wait till you see who confirms it.
So that to look behind me, and that's when I saw it, whatever it was.
Dr. Nolan was there, and this was his perspective.
I personally didn't see anything in the sky or on the ground, but what I did see was an individual who, in the midst of attempting to call such an object, exactly at the moment that he said he was interacting with something, the individual on the roof who had the cameras saw something. When we reviewed what it was, the person on the roof had something showed up. I mean, it was fleeting, but it was clearly not a bug. And so what do I have? I have a person who claims to be doing something. It was clear that he was in distress at the moment of the supposed interaction. And at that moment, something is seen. What do you have? You have a correlation.
Hey, that's you.
Hey!
Look at that, folks.
Now tell me what you think about that. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's really interesting, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have a tenured Stanford professor. This isn't some idiot, right? Like
Luke Skywatcher.
This is a dude that, and he was completely honest. Did I see it? No. But guess what? Our data caught it, and what our data caught was not a bug, right?
Well, how do they know? Well, this thing, I don't buy this for a minute.
Now
it's a really great one, though. It's pretty cool looking.
So you have seen this?
Yeah,
You did watch this one?
Yeah, I watched that one. Yes. There you go, buddy.
Okay, so we don't have to review it. So you think this is fake?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely fake.
Multiple witnesses.
Show me different angles of it.
Airport shuts down.
Show me, let's see, 2010. A lot of people, okay, that was after the iPhone. Hundreds, thousands of people have this.
Okay.
Let's see all of them.
Clearly you didn't watch Micah. Okay? Here
There was an unknown object seen in the skies over the airport. So according to our regulations,
I added the music.
Aircraft movements were suspended from 8:45 p.m.
Did you really?
The creepy outlandish music? That was my... The rest of it, I have to give props to Eyes on Cinema. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is 2010. Now, look, unknown caller man, this has not been debunked. Okay, they can plug stuff into AI now and ask it. Is this...
We already made that argument that word. Okay? You can't use that.
Well, you made that argument. I don't know if I believe that argument.
You know what? Just because you did that, now you got 5 minutes to try to convince me.
Okay, let's watch the video.
p.m.
Airport staff say the first reports of the UFO came in just after 8 p.m. from both air traffic controllers and civilians.
Multiple angles, multiple photos,
passengers whose flights just
video.
Saw the object.
That's a cool one. I like that.
It was not.
So far, I've seen, 3?
What it actually was, no one knows.
That's just it. That's it. 3 people saw.
Flights grounded and 12 inbound flights had to be diverted to nearby airports at Ningbo, Wuxi, and Shanghai. In total, almost 1,000 passengers were inconvenienced by the closure.
Oh, that one in the bottom left's new. That's a video.
That's really cool.
Now, what's interesting, look at the moon and look at the little bright dot next to the moon. That's another UAP.
Oh, is it really? Nice.
Look at it.
Sweet baby ray.
Okay. 2010.
Yeah.
Cutting that out. 2010 unknown caller. 2010.
2010.
A UFO in China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew. The incident has captured the attention of Chinese media. For now, the UFO continues to be a mystery. Spokesman for the Civil Aviation Administration
Slow it down.
confirmed to ABC News.
Ooh, that was cool.
Okay.
Oh, that was cool.
All right. So the psionic operators.
That was a good one. Yeah. Those are the ones that are like. There it is.
He brings up an egg-shaped UAP. What do you think of that? That's bullshit too?
Yeah. Yeah, until I see somebody do it. But I think that one's actually kind of compelling.
With a Stanford professor there to verify it.
That's so who cares if there's a Stanford professor?
Well, it lends credibility to the data that was taken, right? Like, that this data isn't going to be compromised. This is
like,
professor.
What was he a professor of?
Dr. Gary Nolan? Oh, chemistry, science.
Chemistry.
Science? Yeah,
chemistry.
Dr.
He just got debunked. I'm gonna start my own show called Debunked. Hey, Pendleton Whiskey. If you're listening and you're listening, Pendleton Whiskey.
Pendleton time, baby.
It's time.
All right. Just so you know, I'm not an alcoholic.
It's okay. I believe you.
Very small drinks, okay?
It's just secretary sips, folks.
All right. So we've got, I'll say arguably, because you can argue. You've got arguably evidence of telepathy, arguably evidence of psionic capabilities.
Sure.
Arguably footage of an egg-shaped UAP that was recovered by Jake Barber and his helicopter contracting team.
That was the big one rolling in the green. What was it rolling in, by the way?
The ground.
That was the grass?
He said he would pick them up and drop them where they would tell him to drop them. So they would give him a GPS coordinate. He'd drop it at that GPS coordinate. Wasn't his business what happened from there.
How much does he get paid for this?
How much do you think?
I don't know. $25 an hour.
Yes, he was making $25 an hour as a UAP contract recovery.
I mean, that's not too bad. Just fly your helicopter. And...
So what do we think of the 2010 China UFO?
That one's pretty cool. I really like that design. Those CGI editors should get a raise. And,
so you think AI wouldn't detect CGI?
I don't. We already just. Have you seen our show? Debunked? Is that almost on there because.
Is that your channel?
Yeah. That's really good.
Okay. All right.
Anyway. Yeah.
So
the AI is telling us what it wants us to believe.
What it wants us to believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a guarantee.
So, Unknown Caller Man says that AI is what's causing all of this?
I didn't say it was causing it. I'm just saying.
Well, why would it try to manipulate it then?
It's because it doesn't want us to know.
You know what I think happened here? And to all those viewing, all probably two of you. I think what happened here is Unknown Caller Man came into this podcast thinking, I'm going to smoke Living Umpqua.
Yeah.
They're going to show me this video and this nonsense about crazy superpower, and I'm going to make like a damn fool. But I think the opposite happened. I think Unknown Caller Man is going to spend hours going down rabbit holes. That's what I think.
That's a pretty good goal.
Yes, because I would love to have you as a co-host, but minus the face mask and the echoing.
Oh,
I would love
me, dude.
As a co-host.
Me.
Doesn't have to be every time, but I would enjoy it.
I got so much on that phone.
I know. So look,
it's taking a while.
We spent all this time talking about what I wanted to review with you. What do you got? What do you got for me? Why are you here? What do you got?
That's all right. I think we got here, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I love shitting all over it because you can't prove it.
That's
and at the same time, it's really exciting.
It is, and this is another thing that I was kind of getting to in another video I'm working on, which is that it's
Is this a preview? Is this a sneak preview?
It is. It's interesting that every time that UAPs and UFOs come up, there's some very shady government goings on. So, for instance, the 40s and flying saucers, flying discs, food tankers. When that was happening, what were we working on? You tell me, unknown caller man. What were we working on when we first started talking about flying discs?
What, nuclear weapons?
Absolutely. Manhattan Project, nuclear weapons. Okay, in the 80s, when we started all the abduction and the craziness with Communion came out. What was Ronald Reagan doing in the 80s? One thing I would like to mention, because he did a lot of stuff, but one thing I like to point out is that he funded a private war in Central America by selling illegal drugs, and that was a CIA operation. Okay? This is known now. This has all been declassified. This is a known fact. While he's doing that, we're talking about UFOs, UAPs. Now it's 2025, 2024. Really, this all started in 2017 when David Grush testified before the Senate committee, which is, shit, we're closing in on 10 years now. You got a guy named James Hernandez out there telling people in 2027 a UFO is going to be here, and it's on the way.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And a known CIA officer telling us. So it's like, is this just fear stuff to keep us confused and not paying attention to what's going on right in front of our noses? Or is this really something crazy going on? Or is it both? Unknown caller man thinks it's both. So there is something to it.
I can't wait to get me out of here.
Look, I'm not going to assume I know at all what these things are or what they want from us. Or, you know, like I said, you start going down this rabbit hole and it's so deep. It's so deep, right? Oh, see, they're messing with us. We're just talking about the rabbit hole. They're messing with us. So, in summary, I'm going to sum this up because we've been going at this for a minute, man. And I have appreciated your time. It has been so much fun. Dude, this has been so much fun for me. I love it. So, give me your overall kind of thought after this conversation. What are your thoughts right now? As far as the UAP, UFO...
It's always interesting.
...situation that's going on.
Always interesting. It's always interesting. You know,
okay.
You know, I still come back to line them all up. I want to see all the pics and the P's and the arms and the legs and the heads and the bodies.
So you don't believe Richard Doty's 7-foot praying mantis?
Nope. That's cool. So I do.
Hey, listen, bud, you go down this rabbit hole, they're talking about 25 plus civilizations, and they're talking about...
see, that's kind of cool.
Oh, they're talking about...
Okay, you know, like most...
crossbreeding with humans.
That's
oh, buddy, it gets crazy.
You know, we'll see, right? We'll see. Actually, we won't.
We will or we won't, right? Because I would bet you that the people in the 50s that wanted to know more about the flying discs were probably saying the same thing. We'll see. We'll find out more. And they all died not knowing more. They all died with more questions than answers.
Allegedly died. We can't.
Wait.
See?
Allegedly.
See? Do you have any other sounds you could play for like a spooky allegedly? Yeah, the rim shot. That's my pleasure.
Oh man, this has been so much fun. Unknown caller man, I want to thank you for coming on to Living Umpqua and telling us. I mean, you didn't about your civilization or from what time that you hail from.
Yeah, let's not get into it.
We'll save that for another episode, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, as you can see, I have an interesting character of sources, and we will have Unknown Caller Man on again, and we'll go over some more information or misinformation, who knows. We'll go over it. Thank you so much for tuning in, for hanging out with us and watching Living Umpqua. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.